We have breaking news. Breaking news. Are you serious? This is very serious, folks. Just minutes ago, we have just had a mega, massive 8.2 earthquake off the coast of Alaska, right there at Alaska. It has created a massive tsunami warning. There is a major problem. Now, this is an area we have talked about over the years, that I have been talking about earthquakes with you on a daily basis. This is an incredible situation, because what's happened is this is a mega earthquake, and it's along the Cascadia fault line right there in Alaska. There's a massive tsunami concerns right now, and there is tsunami warnings in effect. I know right now the time is 4:55 a.m. East Coast time. This earthquake hit right about 12 minutes ago. I've decided, I heard it go off. I heard the phone go off while in bed this morning. I decided to get up and come down to the studio and go live, and to immediately look to see what the situation is. Here's a report I have from Reuters. And January 23rd, that is this morning, just about 12 minutes ago, an earthquake of magnitude 8.2 has hit 157 miles off the coast of Alaska at the depth of only 10 kilometers. This is very shallow and massive. The quake has prompted a tsunami warning for parts of Alaska, Canada, and a tsunami watch for the entire U.S. West Coast. Also, the United States Tsunami Warning System is in effect. This is, of course, it just happened, so the buoys have to be analyzed quickly. And the concern is, of course, that it's so early in the morning, at not even 5 a.m., that people are asleep. And so they have no clue. If you're living in Alaska, if you're living up in Canada along the coast, if you're anywhere along the West Coast, which I know at this time of morning is only going to be it's about 2 minutes till 2 a.m. West Coast time, so people are asleep. They're not prepared at all. Buoys are going off, and I'm going to do a quick research now. And I'm just going to do this live. Thank God for all of you that are live. I need people praying. We've been praying since the moment I heard it, and I'm asking God to help in a major way. Realize that there was an earthquake that hit in about 1962 that was in that neighborhood that was so devastating because it was on that Cascadia fault line. I'm going to check right now what we can find out about the tsunami warning. So give me just a moment. We are live. But this is a major quake. Also, there was just a 6.0. Yeah, that quake was 1964. It was an Alaskan earthquake of 1964 that created a mega tsunami. It was on March 27th, 1964. That was a 9.2. Created massive situation. Today, it was on Good Friday, March 27th, 1964, the great 9.2 earthquake that hit. And here we are today with an 8.2 this morning just happened. Let's check the tsunami warning. A tsunami warning is in effect, which includes the coastal areas now of British Columbia, also the state of Washington, and its border with Canada, and also, of course, a 2, Alaska. Stay away from the beaches. The tsunamis can travel hundreds of miles per hour, so you can't escape really. Uh, okay. This is a huge earthquake. The Daily Star is now saying it's a huge 8.1. Canada saying tsunami warning for British Columbia coast after large earthquake hits Alaska. 8.2 earthquake. The U.S. Tsunami Warning Centers. This is very, very, very powerful earthquake. Let me just check the board right now. Here's what it says. It's an 8.2. It hit off the coast of Alaska at Kodiak, Alaska. So if you looked at your map and you see that the curve, you know how Alaska curves, it's right in there, almost nestled in the curve. It's 157 miles off the coast of Alaska. It's 278 kilometers southeast of Kodiak, Alaska. And that's where they're saying it hit. Now, just before this earthquake, we had a 6.0 mega quake had hit Indonesia. 6.0 mega earthquake had hit Indonesia earlier. Let me see exactly. About 3 hours ago, the 6.0 earthquake had hit Indonesia. This one, though, massive, mega earthquake, 8.2, Alaska. And it is, this is a very dangerous situation that we have now, folks. Very, very dangerous situation. There has been 29 earthquakes in the last 24 hours, but it's all about right now. Our prayers are going out, Kodiak, Alaska. But the tsunami warning is directly a diagonal from where the quake hits. It's diagonally headed right for British Columbia, Canada, and also right up there along the border with the state of Washington. Tsunami warning in effect. Again, let me give you an update on that. A tsunami warning is now in effect. I repeat, a tsunami warning is in effect for the coastal areas of British Columbia and Alaska from the Washington, British Columbia border all the way to Attu, Alaska. That's spelled A-T-T-U, Attu, Alaska. There is a tsunami warning in effect. Again, it is happening as we speak. It just hit the 8.2 earthquake, Alaska. Our prayers for everyone along this coastal area from the border of Washington State all the way along the Canadian coast, of course, of Canada, and all the way as it turns and heads to Attu, Alaska. There is a national tsunami warning in effect. It went into effect and just minutes ago as this 8.2 earthquake has hit off the coast of Alaska. And it has prompted massive tsunami warnings. I mean, this is a major quake. Again, the earthquake was only 10 kilometers deep. Now, I'm double, triple checking. All the information can change. It's a very fluid situation. And so the situation could change at any time here. We just, in the name of Jesus, praying for everyone that lives along those coastal areas. Some of you, if you were alive during the great earthquake that hit Alaska, 9.2, that hit very similar to this same location. The earthquake was a 9.2 that hit Alaska on Good Friday, March 27th, 1964. I know we've talked about it before in my live broadcast, that this is something we've been concerned about. Now, if you guys remember last night, I was doing a live broadcast, and I got off the air at about 11:30 p.m. Eastern. But during that broadcast, I did a earthquake update, as I always do, and I told everyone, be watching for a major earthquake, because the winds blowing off the sun had been blowing over 500 and some kilometers per second, and had been doing this for about, for the last 48 hours. We'd had quite a bit of strong winds coming off the sun. And I said, watch for a major earthquake. It may very well happen. And I said that last night during my broadcast. And here we are now, just a few hours later. We have a this is the largest quake we've had in some time now. 8.2 has just hit off the coast of Alaska. It was only 10 kilometers deep. It is a mega earthquake. It is a major earthquake, and so prayers going out for everyone. Tsunami watch is in effect now. Clinton Neal over at my live, over on YouTube where I am live. I'm live everywhere, but Clinton Neal just said that there is a tsunami watch in effect for Hawaii right now. But I'm not again, the tsunami watch is something that we got to watch for. But what I'm concerned about is the tsunami warning also immediately. We will keep an eye on us, certainly for you folks in Hawaii that are watching. But we do have a tsunami warning in effect. It is right now for Alaska, all the way from the Washington state border, where Washington state and British Columbia meet, from right there, all the way up the entire Canadian coast to Attu, Alaska, ATTU, Attu, Alaska. So the entire Canadian west coast, all of Alaska, and part of the north, right there at the northern tip of Washington state, is under a tsunami warning. I repeat, it is a tsunami warning. You should get to high ground if you can hear me. How fast it's coming, I don't know. How big of a tsunami will this make? I don't know. But it is going to make it's a 8.2 earthquake. It's only 10 kilometers deep, and it is massive. It is absolutely massive. We're going to see if we can get anything else. The buoys are going off. Okay, here we go. They're putting the earthquake tsunami warning is in effect. So here's a report. I'll get this for you right now. Alaska earthquake sparks tsunami warnings across the United States West Coast and Canada. 8.2 earthquake has hit off the coast of Alaska, and there's no question it has created a major tsunami concern for Canada and Alaska. There's even, and Washington State, of course, also creating a tsunami watch for Hawaii and the entire west coast of the United States. So this is a major development right now, folks, a major concern. And we've got, here's the another report on this mega earthquake. Tsunami warning after 8.2 earthquake hits off the coast of Alaska. The tsunami alert has been issued. A warning for the United States after this huge mega earthquake struck off the coast of Alaska. People have been awakened by the shaking of buildings as this magnitude 8.2 quake has struck, lasting for well over a minute, according to witnesses. The quake had a depth of just 12 miles, now they're saying, when it struck 175 miles east of Kodiak, Alaska. The tsunami alert has been issued. There is a tsunami warning in effect for the Pacific Ocean, which includes the entire United States West Coast. It includes Hawaii, but it is a major warning. There's a watch for Alaska. There's a watch for the U.S. West Coast, but there is a warning, tsunami imminent, for for Alaska. Tsunami imminent, Alaska and the Canadian coast. So, folks, we've got a serious situation here. And we're just at this point now, it's just minutes ago that it happened. At this point, we're at the mercy of God. We are at the mercy of God on this situation, as this has sparked a tsunami warning for Hawaii, for the entire coast of Canada, all the way to the border of Canada and Washington State. And so I'm continuing to check to see if there's been any aftershocks, and there has not. But we've just had an earthquake hit Hawaii. A 3.7 earthquake has hit Hawaii in the last few minutes here. It actually hit 7 minutes after the 8.2 earthquake hit Alaska. Then a 3.7 hit Hawaii. Now, Hawaii should be fine with that quake, but just so you'll know, there's not been any aftershocks as of yet in Alaska. This thing was huge. And so the pressure building on the sun, I mean, we've had these solar winds blowing so fast, coming off the surface of the sun, they could obviously could create major concerns. I said it last night. I was looking for an earthquake, a major earthquake. I even said that. Watch for it to happen, because there's been so much high speed, over 500 and some kilometers per second, winds coming off the sun. Now, even as we speak, there's a 497 kilometers per second continuing to blow off the surface of the sun directly toward the earth. Now, this quake is major. It is mega. Of course it is, 8.2, and so we have prayer warriors out there. People are being alerted right now. Our prayer warriors are being alerted. This is a very serious situation. Again, let me give you an update on the tsunami warning. A tsunami warning is now in effect. It includes the coastal areas of British Columbia, Canada, and all of Alaska, and the border of British Columbia, Canada, and Washington State. This is a major situation developing. We have another news article breaking right now. The BBC News, Alaska quake prompts tsunami alert. Here's what the BBC News is reporting. Alaska earthquake 8.2 is prompting a tsunami alert. The quake struck southeast of Kodiak, Alaska. The U.S. National Weather Service says the alert was in effect for the areas including the state of California and the coast of British Columbia and Alaska. The alert told people to seek refuge on higher grounds in these affected areas. The Northwest Pacific Tsunami Warning Center says, based on the preliminary earthquake parameters, widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible, but we do have a tsunami warning in effect for all of Alaska and all of the coast of Canada and Washington State and concerns of Northern California. This is the Cascadia issue. This is what happened in 1964 on March 27th, 1964, when that 9.2 earthquake devastated the coastal areas It was an incredible earthquake. It hit on Good Friday that year of 1964, and we've talked about this very earthquake, this very area, how that it was so overdue, so overdue. And here we are. Another report is just posted. Alaska earthquake, tsunami warnings issued. 8.2 earthquake strikes off the U.S. coast. Breaking news. Widespread hazardous waves. Authorities are warning. A red tsunami warning has been issued for the west coast of the United States after a huge, mega 8.2 magnitude earthquake struck at a very shallow depth off the coast of Alaska, southeast of Kodiak, Alaska. This earthquake, the tsunami alert is in place for areas including California and the coast of British Columbia and all of Alaska. According to the U.S. National Weather Service, people in the affected areas are told to seek higher ground. According to the Northwest Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible. More follows. This is a very fluid situation. We are in the midst of a major crisis. That's all I can say right now. I mean, this is a major crisis that has developed 37 minutes ago. I don't even think it's been 37 minutes, has it? The earthquake, 8.2, 10 kilometers deep. It's very shallow. I'm sure that the U.S. Geological Survey will be trying to get their hands around this to find out what exactly happened or just exactly how strong it is. But we're really concerned about the people living along the coast of Alaska and the entire west coast of Canada. And even right down there at the very border area of Washington State in Canada. And also the coast of California. There's concerns of the coast of California with this tsunami. We have also witnessed that this 8.2 earthquake, we've been waiting to see if there's been any aftershocks. Now, the U.S. Geological Survey has just downsized this earthquake in Alaska from 8.2. They've just downsized it to 7.9. There has been no aftershocks as at this moment, which is really incredible. But this 8.2 earthquake has really created potential damage around the world. We've got another report. The magnitude 8.2 earthquake hits off the Gulf of Alaska, and that's where it was at. It's the Gulf of Alaska. You know how it curves. How there's Alaska. How it curves. It's right nestled up in that Gulf area there, not far from Kodiak, Alaska. This powerful earthquake has hit. A tsunami warning is in effect. Widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible after this magnitude 8.2 earthquake, very shallow. The tsunami warning is in effect for the British Columbia, for southeast Alaska, for the Alaskan Peninsula, for the Aleutian Islands. People have felt this brutally. It's waking people up, of course. This is a major earthquake. Tsunami danger in effect for the entire coastal area, even as far as a watch in place for Hawaii and a watch even in place for California. But we're really concerned is Alaska, British Columbia, and the Washington State, British Columbia border area right there. And all of Alaska and all of Canada along the coastal area there is definitely tsunami warnings. Now this could also, the waves could also spread If the tsunami is going to hit right there at the border of Washington State and British Columbia, Canada, it's about a 3-hour window for that area. Baja California would be more like a 6-hour window. It also could affect Russia, Hawaii, of course, setting out there. But again, this is a tsunami warning. We're past the watch. There is a major situation developing here, and our prayers are going out to everybody. This is a mega earthquake. This is an 8.2 earthquake. So we're praying. My prayers are for all the people. I'm praying that God would move mightily and touch this situation and reduce the waves and calm the seas in the name of Jesus, because we're dealing with something that's way outside the scope of human capability. It's in the middle of the night. People are sleeping. They don't even know this has happened. And some have awoken, of course, by the earthquake itself up there in Alaska. But the tsunami, no idea. They have no idea. It's dark. It's 2:22 a.m. in the morning along the West Coast. There's no comprehension to what has just happened or just how big this tsunami wave is. There's no way to know at this point. We just know it's a very serious situation. I'm going to check again the earthquake reports and find out where we're at on this now. The latest reports on it. We really are watching. Where is the tsunami? Where is this going to come ashore? And even when it does, if it does come ashore with the massive force that we fear may very well happen, it will wipe everything out. And so then again, the reporting will be delayed. And I remember this happening on March 11th, 2011. Now, some of you may remember one of the things the Lord showed me was it was 2004 that we had a major earthquake and tsunami that hit off the coast of Indonesia. And then 7 years later, we had the major earthquake, 9.0. It hit off the coast of Japan, which was followed by that massive tsunami. And then 7 years later is now. So here we are, and it's the 7th year since the major earthquake of Japan, and the concern has been that another major mega earthquake with massive tsunami waves could happen this year, since this has been 7 years. I don't know if that's what has just happened. I don't know if this is what this is. I know last night in my live broadcast, I said last night, a few hours ago, that the winds blowing off the sun at around 500 plus kilometers per second now for the last 48 hours was going to put a ton of pressure on the earth. Watch for a major earthquake. And that is certainly come to pass. We have got a major earthquake. So we're continuing to watch. Someone just said a 7.3 just hit Seattle. I don't see that at all. Okay, I don't see that at all. There's nothing in Seattle. See, guys, and I understand people are going to show up here and live on the air, and somebody may drop in here and say anything. So trust me, there has not been a 7.3 earthquake in Seattle, but there is concerns of this tsunami. Okay, there is major concerns of this tsunami. It is a major developing story. I'm going to leave it with you again. 8.2. I'm going to check one last time. but this 8.2 earthquake has just hit off Kodiak Island in Alaska. There is a tsunami warning in effect, and it is a major situation. 8.2 earthquake, coast of Alaska, tsunami warning for all of Alaska. According to the Business Insider, who's just reporting, their report just coming in, the tsunami warning for Alaska and the entire United States West Coast. Earthquake's been downsized to 7.9 by the U.S. Geological Survey, but this 8.2 mega quake, the entire western coast of the United States, as well as Alaska and parts of Canada, are placed on a tsunami watch. But there is tsunami warnings in effect right now for Alaska and British Columbia, Canada. Also, right at the border of Washington State and Canada. All right, so this is a very, very emergency alert, tsunami danger on the coast. Go to high ground or move inland. This is one of the reports that's just been released in Alaska on Twitter. And so, again, we're just telling everybody to be in prayer, as this is a major event. We are praying that this somehow, through the hand of God, somehow, this major, major earthquake of 8.2 that has hit Alaska, somehow, that the seas can be calmed. We'll know probably in the next few hours just exactly what is developed. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Thank you guys for dropping in with me live. This is a major prophecy alert. Jesus said there would be earthquakes in diverse places. He said there would be wars and rumors of wars. He said we would see these apocalyptic events. And certainly, we have it right now. So, God bless all of you. We'll be back later with more information as it develops. God bless all of you, and pray one for another. In Jesus' name.